Just you, me, and the odds. We stuck together, we two peas in a pod.
Welcome everybody to another Clam Boss Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to be talking about Bellower and, basically how good is he throughout the game. He is one of the few rares that you can bring into literally end game dungeons and still do some good work. You'll keep using him for a long time. So if you have him, feel free to build him with no regrets. I don't ever feel bad in this game about building a champion that I end up using later anyway. Hopefully, I guess the hope is you keep pulling better and better champs. So Bellower was strong for a couple reasons. One, he's void, so he doesn't weak hit against anybody. You don't ever have to worry about a weak hit landing, which also wouldn't place debuffs, things like that. So you don't have to worry about that. The other thing is he hits on an AoE with every single skill that he has. So they're all hits and they're all AoE, which is great. This way you can build him for some very specific roles and in some specific gear sets as well. He's good throughout the game. So if you get him early game, you can build him, one way. If you get him mid game, you can build him another way. And then in the end game, you can build him another way as well. So what do we have here for his skills? The first one attacks all enemies and has a 20% chance of placing block active skills debuff for 1 turn. This is an OP skill. The fact that it's on his A1 means you could set his AI to only use this skill. And if you do that, you could be placing block active skills over and over again on the enemy. Now, it's a 20% chance, books up to 30, so it's not like insanely high. I believe you can increase that by 5 in the masteries, but the key with this is that if you're able to go, say, twice as fast as the enemy, then you're able to place it twice, right? So you have a 60% chance on each champion. The other thing is you're hitting 4 champions, so you're gonna land it on somebody almost every single time. The second skill is attacks all enemies with a 50% chance of placing the small version of decreased speed for 2 turns. So that's a 15% decrease in their speed. This books up to a 75% chance. So this is another very strong skill. So if you can make your enemy go slower, then you're going to get more attacks in, and it's going to be harder for them to hit you enough times to take you out. And you're more likely to get that reviver in there or get that heal off, whatever you need. So slowing the enemy is very strong. The other place it's really strong is against bosses. Most bosses, you want to get slow on the boss at some point. It seems to land on almost every boss in the game, and it's a very powerful debuff against them because the more they can attack you, the harder it is for you to get healed up, the harder it is for you to take them down. Your debuffs stay on longer as well. So if you say place decreased defense, which will come up later in his kit, and you put slow on them as well, that decreased defense is going to stay on them longer. You're going to get more attacks on that before it falls off. So again, this attacked everybody. And then you get to his third skill. I believe this is the one that hits the hardest. I could be wrong. But this one attacks all enemies, has a 75%. This one books up to 100% chance of placing decrease attack, again, the small version, and then also decrease defense, again, the small version. But that's still fine. I mean, you're still going to be increasing the amount of damage that you do, and you're going to be decreasing the amount of damage that they do to you. So this is a very strong skill for that reason. If you're not bringing in other champions that do this, or that will keep this on almost the entire time when you're running, then you'll definitely want to be running this skill. Same thing with the speed. If you've already got speed taken care of by another champion, you could take that one out. Because of the fact that this A1 is so strong, placing block active skills, most champions in the game aren't going to do much to you with their A1s. So when you do place this, it's the same as putting their skills on cooldown, basically. The only difference is this can be washed off. And the only way to fix, putting skills on cooldown is to reset the skills with somebody like Kaimar. And then lastly, he's got increased ally speed and faction crypts by 15%. This is very powerful for the faction crypts. He will put in a lot of work in that. If you're an earlier game, you can run just Bellower and you're going to be able to get through quite a bit of the content. All right, so I'm going to take him into some dungeons the way I have him built now. I've got him in a stun set. That's going to give me an 18% chance to stun the enemy. So real quick, before we go into the dungeons, I'll show you I don't have him built very strong. I've just got him at 42,000 hit points, 2,500 defense, 262 accuracy. The rest don't really matter. And I've got him kind of slow right now at 185. So he's not fully built here, and I don't have his masteries fully built either. I don't want to show you this guy at his apex necessarily, the way he'll be like in end game. So it's good that he's still kind of built in some kind of trash leftover gear that I have here for him. If things aren't working out, I might level up some of this stuff, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So, and then at the end, I'm going to show you his masteries, and we'll go from there. So right now we'll do some campaign. I'll show you how he works as a farmer, and then we'll also go in and do some dungeons. All right, this is Brutal 12-3. It's not going to be super impressive right away because I don't have him built for damage. But as you can see, even without building him for damage, you know, he's still going to take care of this just fine. And he's still going to do a fairly quick run. I was using Kale before I got him back in the day, and I think he was around like a minute 20. And Bellower here, without one-shotting anybody and without outrunning them either, he did it in 25 seconds. So I believe I had him down to like a, what was it, maybe a 12-second farmer. It might have been 8, I can't remember. That was before I put him in the stun set. So, but that worked out pretty well. I'll run him through one more time just so you can kind of see him in action. He is, well, that time he didn't land any of the stuns, but he did get the defense down on everybody. Here he is. He got a stun off, and he got 2 of the block active skills. Then he got the block active skills on the other ones. That also helps speed up the runs too. If they do get a chance to go, you can see how Lord Shazar, it takes so long to do his move. Same thing with these girls here. If he does either stun them or he gets those block active skills out there, they aren't going to do that. They're going to do a much quicker move. So that one was 30 seconds. So again, without even building him for damage, he did 25 seconds and 30 seconds. If that's an improvement for you, definitely go for that. You don't have to build him to be a farmer to have him do the job. You can get him down pretty fast. It's, again, something like 8 or 12 seconds, but you don't need to. All right, this is not a real spider team, but just to give you an idea of what he can do in spider, I just put him in with a few other champions that'll help keep him alive for a little bit. So in a stun set here, he got off several stuns, and he's also put out the defense down and the attack down, so that when they come to attack our champion who's wearing the shield set, it doesn't hurt her very much. And in return, doesn't hurt Miscreated Monster very much either. Obviously, Miscreated Monster is OP for Spider because he puts up such a big shield. But the key to him in this is that the block active skills doesn't do anything, but the slow does. It keeps those spiders from taking turns as often. It keeps the main spider from taking turns as often. That's huge. And then also he's putting that decreased defense on and the decreased attack again. These are, again, the small versions, but they all help. It does help you get that business done. Man, there, he didn't land like any stuns. That's kind of crazy. You'd think hitting that many spiders, it would be like guaranteed to get at least one with 18%. But here we go. He got a stun there. And every little stun helps a little bit. Each time a spider takes a turn, it takes time. So this helps speed up runs. And also that's damage happening to our champions. So here he is. This isn't even a real team. We might actually win this. My plan was not at any time supposed to actually win this fight. Just to kind of show you what he can do. But he's really good for Spider. So if you do have him and you don't have a Spider team ready to go, or you're struggling to get through Spider and get up to level 20, and you need somebody to help you, get over that hump, he's great because he's Void Affinity, so you don't have to worry along the way that you're going to run into one of the levels where, oh, it's red affinity and my guy's blue. uh-oh, I'm screwed, you know what I mean? He's going to be strong against all of them, or at least he's going to be neutral against all of them, which is sometimes all you can really hope for. So, yep, Bellower, very strong against Spider. And there we go. We won that one. Okay, I've got him going through Ice Golem, level 20. And this way you can just kind of see what he can bring to the table. So he's going to place this decreased defense, the decreased attack. Now when they attack us, they aren't going to hurt us as much. And when we attack them, they are going to get hurt more. So that's always helpful. He got a stun out there. That's helpful. And then all these slows are for him to the decreased speed that we put out there. So right there, he had 3 debuffs on the enemy, and that didn't even include the block active skills, which he can land. There he landed a block active skill, and you can increase that in the masteries by 5%. I would recommend doing that. That's in the support tree. I'll show you that at the end of the match, but here we are. We had block active skills on 4 of the 5 champions, so they're just not going to be able to do anything to us. Their A1s would be their only skill. Normally against this wave, you're getting hit by all that reflect damage and that sort of thing, but they couldn't put that out there because of him. Now when we're here, I did bring the Rhodoses. I didn't want this to be a super long match. You might get bored and want to stop watching, but he put out a stun. He put out slow on all 3 of them, including the boss. That's huge. Slow is probably the most important skill he can do here. He added the block active skills against the ad there. That can be really good when they attack us. They can't do their magic. So that's a good deal. But the slow on the boss, the less he can attack us, the better, because whenever we bring him down past 1/4, 1/2, or 3/4, then he's going to attack us automatically. If he's got ads up at the time, we get hurt really bad. So you do want him slowed down so that the only attack we're taking, hopefully, is that attack between, revives or between heals, that sort of thing. And glad we put him back up. So he's going to come through and he's going to hopefully put that slow out there again soon. Yep, there it goes. And so now we're back in business again. He'll attack us automatically again right now. But because his ads weren't up, he wasn't able to hurt us very much. So that's the other reason. He's going to be reviving those ads. And if he doesn't get a chance to revive them before he does that big attack, that's really helpful. So having slow on the boss can be key. And having slow on the ads is key too, because they can't do their stuff. We put block active skills out there again. Man, I'm really hoping Rhodos would put the block revive on that guy. It would speed up the run by probably a minute or so. But that's okay. And I know this is kind of OP. Most people don't have 2 Rhodoses. But I just didn't want this to be a super long run. Now I'm just kind of hoping we win it. There we go. All right. This is not my Ice Golem team by any stretch of the imagination, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't have anybody using conflicting skills. I sent him in there with Tomb Lord at first, and it was like they have like the same skill set practically. So we're lucky enough to have the faction wars here right now for Ogrin Tribe. So we get to run them through here. I've got quite a few good Ogrin Tribes champions. I feel like they're a really good faction. But even despite that, even despite having as many as I have, I still use Bellower. Partly because I can come in with Skull Crusher and I'll put that counterattack out there, and he's got nothing but AoE skills. So he's actually super strong with a counterattacker. I think he could be good in a counterattack set, not avenging, because the enemy does not crit against you very often. That one's good for arena, but the other one that it's just a straight up 35% chance to counterattack, that could be strong for him because he's going to put that block active skills out there more often. So again, here he is doing his thing, putting some stuns out there, putting block active skills out there, putting slow out there. You know, I can only talk about his skills so much, I guess. You know what he's doing at this point, and we can just kind of watch him do it. But the main thing is, because he's got that counterattack on, if he's getting attacked, he's getting another chance to do the block active skills. So that's pretty fantastic. Okay, so this is kind of clutch area for him. Both of those ads can do some pretty strong things. I believe Steadfast Marshal puts up something like maybe the block active skills. And then I think it's Reliquary Tender that does. She puts up that block debuffs. So if he would have landed block active skills or stunned her before she did that, that would have been a good thing. Let's take a look if he does. And I've got him at 265. I think that's enough accuracy. Yeah, I think it is. He stunned her that time, so she's not going to get a chance to put that debuff up. And now we've got the ads down. This is going to be a cakewalk. But you kind of saw what he was bringing to the table. Now he brought that defense down. I don't have any champions in this faction that do that. I did end up pulling Ugo, but I haven't really had a need to build her yet. So, you know, I don't know if we're going to win this. It's going to be close. It's all you, Bellower. Oh my gosh. We were like one tick away. That's fine. You got to see what he could do. Usually we win this, but that's okay. All right. So there's no point in me showing him in Gold 5 Arena. That doesn't make any sense. So what I'll do is just show you the masteries at this point and just understand in early game Arena, he's viable. I wouldn't say he's not viable later on, but he's not somebody you're ever going to see in like Gold 4, Gold 5. I really don't know at what point he kind of fades out, but in early Arena, when you're down in the bronzes and the silvers, I think he's a pretty strong champion. So he's viable there. Again, I've got him in unleveled gear. I wasn't trying to go crazy with this or anything, and he wasn't fully mastered either. So you can increase some things with his masteries. I'm going to move aside for the offense tree if you are using him as your campaign farmer. And if you want him to, in fact, I should move all the way over, I think, because of where things will pop up. If you are trying to run him as your campaign farmer and you want to do it as quickly as possible, then you're going to want to run down here. You want to take your crit, your chance to crit, your crit damage. You'll probably jump down here to Whirlwind of Death so that you can pick up speed for each enemy killed. And then this guy gives you 8% on the first hit. Then you jump over to this side, you get increased damage for each dead ally. So that's where bringing food in matters. That one doesn't matter if you're one-shotting the enemy, because they aren't going to kill your food anyway. But if your food is dying in your runs, that's a great one to take. But it'll also get you over here 6% when your target has higher HP. So that can be a strong one. Then probably just straight down Methodical gives your A1, a stronger hit. And then into War Master, because you're hitting everybody, you're getting a chance for War Master procs. You could go Helm Smasher as well. Some people cut across and go and take Flawless Execution to get an extra 20% crit damage. You really got to kind of know where you're at with the build. Is 20% going to be the difference between one-shotting everybody or not? If you're not one-shotting them, I would definitely not take this one. And again, this is the build for like campaign farming. It's the build for, if you're using him more as like an offensive nuker, that sort of thing. He does hit AoE on every skill, and he hits decently well. He's not like one of the biggest nukers in the game or anything, but in your earlier game, you'll find he'll put in some work that way. The other great ones, if you're, again, just looking for damage, because that's what you're using him for, then these counterattack masteries, both of them are fantastic. Nothing else here matters that much. This one's strong if you're using the stun set. So Fearsome Presence gives you an extra 5% chance to land stun from the both the skills and artifacts. So in this case, you'd go from that 18% chance to 23% chance. So that's a big deal there. None of the rest of them here it matters, but with that artifact set, it's a big deal. All right, so what masteries will use down the support tree? Almost every build, probably every build for him is going to use that. The only one I could think that wouldn't would be, I mean, really you should be using the support tree, I think. None of this is that important until you get to Arcane Celerity. This one's huge. 30% chance of increasing the turn meter by 10% when a debuff cast by this champion removes or expires. He's casting tons of them. Every move is casting debuffs. So I think, and then even if you have him in that stun set, he's still doing that again. So this one's huge. I would definitely put this on him. He's going to be just turning that turn meter over constantly. Then these two are both good, but, you know, again, not super important, not super necessary, depending on your build. This one's huge if you're running speed sets, accuracy sets, you know, anything that boosts your base stats. That one can be really good. This one, Sniper, is huge, 5% chance to increase that block active skills, and also brings it from 75% to 80% chance on the slow. And then we've got Master Hexer. This is kind of a must-have. This one will increase the length of time that those debuffs go on for. It won't extend his stun that he gets from the artifact set, but it will extend all of the debuffs that he places. So that's a really good one. This one, Spirit Haste, the only time you would use this is if you're running him as like your campaign farmer, or some kind of solo build that way, and you need to get him another 24 speed. You'll get that for free with your champions dying, the food champions dying. So that's the time you would use this. But if you're one-shotting the enemy, you wouldn't use it. So maybe a really early level campaign farmer you might use him for, but later on when you can build enough speed into him and you don't need that, then I wouldn't worry about it so much. Along the bottom row, you've got two options. One is simple, more accuracy. If you need more accuracy, if it will help you get the stats you need, if you can build more crit rate into them because of this or something like that, I would definitely say this would be a good one. The other one that's good is Oppressor. It increases the turn meter fill. It's the turn meter fill rate. So I believe this just means he just becomes faster. So it's like the speed buff, but it's in turn meter increments of 2.5% increase to the fill rate. So I just think it makes him faster. He's putting out so many debuffs at pretty much any given time. This is going to be, you know, he's just going to be 10% faster after he's taken a turn or two. So I would definitely say Oppressor could be really good for him. So that's it for the masteries. Again, I wasn't running him with the masteries, so I think you can see just how strong he could be. But this is also maybe a good guide because not everybody is like, hey, I'm going to have him built out, maxed out perfectly right away. So this gives you an idea of, you know, a normal human's ability to use this guy, not somebody putting god tier gear on him and all that stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Also, hopefully you enjoyed this content. I hope it helped you out. If it did help you out, please subscribe to my channel. That would help me out a lot. And also, you'll know when I put out the next video. So hopefully that one will help you too. I would appreciate it very much. And again, I'm the Clam Boss. Thank you very much. And this is another Raid Shadow Legends video.
It's just you, me, and the odds. We stuck together, we two peas in a pod. You dealt a bad hand, I'm there seizing the cards. We'll never be separated till we seeing the gods. We've been low together, high forever. Long as we go together, we'll die whenever. Be a light, couldn't let the darkness try you ever. Truth in my word, you I lie to never.